In this video, we will look at the example on page 11 of the chapter 1, section 4 slides. So here's our problem. The quantity demanded of a certain model of DVD player is 8,000 units. This kind of dates the problem. When the unit price is $260. At the unit price of 200, the quantity demanded increases to 10,000 units. The manufacturer will not market any players if the price is $100 or lower. However, for each $50 increase in the unit price above $100, the manufacturer will market an additional 1,000 units. Both the demand and supply equations are known to be linear. So first we're going to find the supply function, the demand equation rather. So for this we have 2 points. In particular, we have the point 8, 260, where 8 represents 8,000 units and 260 is the price in dollars. And we also have 10, 200, because according to the second line here, at a unit price of $200, the quantity demanded increased to 10,000 units. So we find the slope. M equals 200 minus 260 over 10 minus 8 is negative 60 over 2, or negative 30. Using this and plugging in some information, we get an equation P minus 200 equals negative 30 times x minus 10. I can multiply both sides by, I can distribute my negative 30 to get negative 30x plus 300 here. And then I'm going to write this simpler equation here, P equals negative 30x plus 500. That'll come in handy later. But the supply equation is going to be 30x minus P minus 500 equals 0. The demand equation, not the supply equation. We usually say supply and demand instead of demand and supply, but we usually figure out the demand equation first. So it confuses people a bit, particularly me when I am working off the cuff here. So now we'll look at our supply equation. Again, we have 2 points. We have the point 0, 100. Because if the price is $100 or less, the manufacturer will not make any DVD players. We also have the point 1, 150, because if we increase the price to 150, they will make 1,000 DVD players. Okay, again, we find the slope. M equals 150 minus 100 over 1 minus 0, which is 50 over 1, or just 50. So P minus 100 equals 50 times x minus 0, which is just 50x. And then we can rewrite this as P equals 50x plus 100, which will come in handy when we are working on part C, but we can rewrite this equation as 50x minus P plus 100 equals 0. And there is our supply equation. There we go. So that's parts A and B done. Now we want to find the equilibrium quantity and price, and for those we are going to use this equation and this equation. Not that equation, wrong equation there. This one. So we'll look at this on the next page. Okay, so we've got these 2 equations. P equals negative 30x plus 500 and P equals 50x plus 100. And note that these are exactly the same equations as we had at the end on the previous page. We've just put them into a form that's easier for us to use at the moment, because this means that negative 30x plus 500 equals 50x plus 100. And I can subtract my 100 from both sides here and add my 30x to both sides here. And that's going to give me 400 equals 80x. And if I divide both sides by 80, I get x equals 5. Well, if x equals 5, I can plug that into either of my other equations, and I should get the same number. As usual, we will check both equations to be on the safe side. If I plug it into the first equation, I get p equals negative 30 times 5 plus 500 is negative 150 plus 500, which is 350. If I plug it into the second equation, I have p equals 50 times 5 plus 100 is 250 plus 100, which again is 350. So our break-even point, the place where our supply and demand meet, is the point 350. That is, they are going to make 5,000 DVD players and sell at $350, which is a very dated problem since nobody buys DVD players anymore and certainly wouldn't buy them at $350 each. If you have any questions, let me know.